So one heading in your research is about white, and I've just called it the problem with white. So it's not immediately obvious. To me, it seems dead obvious, but to somebody not in the printing industry, I guess the first question is, why do you need to print white? Yeah, is that true?
That is true, and I even heard that from print buyers.
Yeah. Wow.
So it is something which needs a bit more explanations. Obviously, you print in CMYK, you can print metallics and all kinds of things, but why would I need to print in white? So that tends to need some explanations, because printing in white does not stand for itself. You need to have a substrate on it to make the white noticeable, allow for an overprinting, and then show the effect with or without white. So it's an effect which needs some explanations, and it's very much substrate dependent.
As we spoke about in another discussion that we've recorded about printing onto craft board or papers or unbleached papers and that kind of thing, just putting CMYK on there alone is probably going to be a little bit dull and underwhelming.
Well, yeah, if you have a black board, then that wouldn't be a point, so that would be the extreme.
Yeah.
Substrates are getting more important. I mean, they've always been important in the printing industry, but having a bit more extraordinary substrates is getting a lot more important. That's why we're seeing a lot more of colored substrates, but especially that kind of natural craft recycled type of substrates, which are very much in tune with the environmental awareness all around, and there are brands really focusing on that as well. So using craft brown paper, recycled paper. The challenge is only that a standard CMYK print would look dull without a white underprint. Yeah. And sometimes only the white print is already sufficient. It's a very nice effect having on a white print on brown paper on a corrugated board liner, for example. So the substrate plays an important role, and it's rather going to increase in the future.
And I guess the payoff for a designer is to think, can I afford, or can my customer afford, for me to design with white? Because in the past it's been another colour on press, say on an offset press, or may not have been possible on digital, but now that world is opening up.
Yeah, so the ROI obviously is important to being aware of what the white underprint will cost. If you can do this inline on a press, and also as an underprint or as an overprint, for example, in the case of a cling film, also very important is to then it can be fairly cost efficient.
So we need, again, as an industry, to show the creative people out there it may not be prohibitive in cost without giving away the whole value.
Exactly. So that's striking the balance, but I think in many of the samples I've seen, the value is quite apparent. It's just difficult to explain it in the beginning. I wouldn't need to print white for that, but showing the final result does convey that. And often white should be treated as part of a project. So it's not just a simple print product sell. It's more like a part of a campaign, of a branding, especially companies looking into sustainable ways and changing into using brown or recycled substrates. Then it can be a whole part of a rebranding campaign.
And I guess it's important to point out, talking about sustainability, when it comes to de-inking, that dry toner is one of the most efficient products for de-inking, and according to Engada and the work that they do with measuring devices and how de-inkable that is, then dry toner is very easy to get out of the paper, so the paper can then be onward recycled in some way.
Yes, obviously showing these kind of credential is very important, especially for companies being environmentally aware.
So it's not just in isolation, here's a recycled substrate that we can use, but also it can carry on a responsible chain of value in that way.